Hello, my loves. I'm here in Muir Woods State Park, and I am here because this is where my walk-in experience happened. Now, I want to say I'm not super qualified to discuss this topic, but what I've learned about walk-ins is that the walk-in experience is here to help us elevate our consciousness because we have been in such a karmic loop and being held back because of our trauma and our karma. So it wasn't until I started doing the really deep inner work that I've been able to heal a lot of that in myself. And I'll tell you, I see things so differently now because of that healing. So I do understand the benefit of having a walk-in experience now. So the last time I was here was because I basically had thrown my husband out of the house after we had a fight over the George Floyd video, which I was really emotional over. I was upset. I was crying a lot, and he didn't understand. He is a white male, so that was also really triggering when he didn't show empathy. And I had realized that I had submitted. I had literally sacrificed my own sovereignty and freedom of my own voice and belief system. I sabotaged it so that I could be, protected under this patriarchal colonized system. And so I was really emotional. I came here bawling, crying, couldn't stop crying. Even when, people were walking by me, I was still crying. This was when the masks were mandated. So I was seeing everybody walking around with a mask on, and I was feeling so uncomfortable that I wasn't wearing one, and that I was surrounded by people who were, and I just had this really difficult I had a really difficult time to accept that this was happening on our planet, and that the mind control system was so apparent, and that, not only are we submitting to this patriarchal colonized system, but also this intimidated, intimidated like pressure to comply and obey, which is a slave system, which I'm sure all, those of you who are awakened understand what that all really means and what this planet really represents, and which is why there are so many people who don't see the problem in just complying because they have that program. And I just felt very overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know really where to go. And I think that it was at the time when, I hadn't been working. I was just doing trainings. And I wanted to sign up for a sort of like course or something that was going to help me to understand all of this. But I was just, anyways, I was just emotionally overwhelmed. And I got here to Muir Woods. My husband was staying at his parents'. I was all alone. I hadn't eaten for a few days. I was really down. I was really, really depressed, and I just looked up at the trees, at the beautiful redwoods here in Muir Woods. Let me show you. So there's redwoods here. I'm on a trail, and there's a river.
Somebody left their backpack.
So this is a really beautiful place to come to for some sanctuary, some peace, sacred space. And so, yeah, I surrendered, man. I totally surrendered, woman. I was just like, I don't fucking know how to do any of this. I've been just teaching yoga and serving tables and giving facials, and like, I'm not an activist. Like, how am I going to become an activist now and become anti-racist or, decolonized? Like, how am I going to figure this out? And I just surrendered, and I didn't even know what that was going to be. I just surrendered. I let it all go. And I remember that I had all of this pain in me, all of this anguish, all of this feeling of suffering, of not knowing. And this peace, it just sort of like washed over me. It was this like huge sense of peace entered into my consciousness and into my body. And I stopped shaking, and I was able to see clearly the big picture. So when you're able to see the big picture, that's definitely a sign. That's a big sign of awakening. And having that connection as well, when you surrender, you start to build a connection to your guides. And they will help you along the way as long as you ask for help. So now that I've had that experience, and that took me down the path where I am now, where I have done 2 decolonized courses. One was on spirituality, which taught me about Kemet, and that blew my mind and completely took me to the next level. And now, besides Kemet, I love learning about Atlantis and Lemuria, and I listen to Cryon, and I watch other influencers like Elena Denon, who are talking about the big picture, who are really going deep. I love the work that Dolores Cannon does, and knowing the truth to what we're here to do. And so I've been on my own journey ever since that walk-in experience of what I'm here to do, what my purpose is. And I do believe I am meant to share my voice. That's a form of activism. And to help create the earth that we want to see through providing healing. Because it's through the trauma and the karma that we're stuck in the samskara, in the loops of suffering. And the truth is that it's not about being a certain way or perfect or what the box is that we think we need to fill. It's really about being genuine and having confidence and being humble and realizing it's not about your will. You have free will, but it's also about the divine will. It's about the divine timing of things. So be gentle on the journey, but also be a warrior. Use your voice. Start building that confidence to step into purpose, because that's what it's all about. We're all here to serve a purpose. At the same time, to love life and to love ourselves. So, I'm sending you so much love as we are on this journey together. Soul family. We are just like the seeds of the redwood trees right behind me that grow together in what's called a family. And they grow tall and they shine to source light, the sun. And that's what we're here to do, is to connect and ground as a seed, but grow into that higher light, into that consciousness of source, and to want to reach and connect source and sky to earth, cosmos to Gaia. You are the conduits, we're the in-between, we are connected by blood to this land, and our DNA is connected to the galaxy, so to the star dust. All right, I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours.